Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Arrival Lounge. I'm Sharissa Bloomberg. I'm a psychologist and I consult with New World Immigration. And today I'm very excited to introduce you to one of our consultants here. His name is Zakir Krotz, and he's going to tell us exactly what his day consists of, what he does, what the challenges are. So, welcome, Zach, for short. Zach,
Thank you, Charissa.
yeah.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be able to discuss what it is that I do and we do at New World Immigration. Thank you.
Right. So, what does the day consist of, Zach? Because I know you work very hard. I've heard all of you in that sales team. Tell
Yeah,
us what it consists of.
yeah. Look, I could probably go on and write maybe two books about it, but just to summarize it very quickly, we help families move abroad, whether we're looking at Australia, New Zealand, Canada. We do some Middle East work, but predominantly Australia, New Zealand, and Canada. Skilled professionals, they would essentially fill out um, a form on our website, a free assessment form. They'll give us basic information about age, language proficiency, qualifications they hold, the profession that they're in, and if applicable, what the partner factors are, married or life partner, etc. And there may be a brief summary. Some of them would go to that length, or some of them would just say nothing to add, which doesn't really give us much to work with. And I'll tell you why in a moment, because it's not just about heading into a shop and I'm now deciding today I am tired of Vodacom and I want to move to MTN, which is quite an easy decision to make, if I'm being honest. We have to go and match this against the skilled professional program to see, right, client X, as an example, has this, right, education, qualification, years of experience. Does it match the skill program? What do they qualify for? Can they go across on a skilled work visa? Can they apply for sponsorship opportunities? Can they apply for direct residency, which opens up so much more benefits for them and their families? You with me? From there, we would connect with the client and gather more information if it's not immediately clear that the person qualifies. And from there, I'll then move that conversation into a Zoom meeting, which you joined me yesterday in one of my Zooms, and thank you for that. Yeah, and then from there, I'll then unpack, right? This is possible, this is not possible, and we then get down into the good, the bad, and the ugly, what it actually means.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love that. And it's my first time I've actually sat in with the Zoom, and you were amazing, really.
thank you.
Giving the client all the information, letting them ask all the questions they need to ask, exactly as you said, what you can and can't do. And yesterday was really different because it was a spousal visa.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
And it
Talk
challenged
us.
me because there wasn't a natural route. It wasn't clear cut. Like
Yeah.
this individual, Paul, could go in that direction,
Yes.
right? And because he shared some additional information about his partner
Yes.
holding Australian citizenship, it opened up a potential way
Yes.
via a spousal visa. So it's not just
Yes.
copy paste. Each client's journey, it's personalized, it's tailored
Yes.
to what it is that we can help them with and what actually exists from an eligibility
Yes.
perspective.
Now, I loved what you said because you said here at New World Immigration, we hold your hand right through the entire process, through applying. Once you get to the other side, follow up. I mean, I'm fascinated. Who else does that? uh,
Yeah,
so, yes, I was blown away to listen to that.
that's exactly what it is. They start out in our section, where we would make sure that they're meeting the eligibility criteria, which is absolutely key to a process like this, right? Once everything makes sense, and they are actually backing themselves to make the decision that they want this move,
Yeah,
and that's a key part.
that's
The key part is
exactly.
them actually wanting it after we've displayed the options.
Yes. I'm so pleased you raised that because I want to ask from a psychological point of view. There can be a lot of fears. Do
Yeah.
I go? Don't I go? What happens when I get to the other side? What happens, heaven forbid, I fail? What happens if my partner wants to come back? There's a lot that they go through. So I'm very excited
Yes.
that we're offering them this psychological support because right now it's about admin, the price, how we do it,
Yes.
what's positive. But once it comes down to it, there's a lot that goes into it. Potential arguments, people you're saying
Yes.
goodbye to,
Yes.
yeah, all the fears. But I think I want to address some of that
Yeah.
because, you know what, Zach, I said to you, if you're young and you've got the finance to do that, I mean, what are we waiting for if one doesn't take the gap? You know, so yeah, how do you try and encourage that and work through the what if I'm not, yeah,
For me, and in my conversations, and I believe everyone's different, I always want to try and find out what are some of the obstacles or the challenges that they have gone through to get to where they are today.
yes,
Once I can establish that,
yes,
I can then build off of that and say, listen, you got yourself this far. Keep backing yourself
yes,
because fear creates doubt and doubt creates inaction. And
love
you
that,
find yourself 10 years
love that,
later and you're still in that and you haven't moved because in many scenarios we can reach a ceiling very quickly and we get comfortable and comfort zone kills dreams. I see it every day. So in my scenario is I want to find out exactly how you got to where you are today and kind of build and add to that and say,
yes,
this is why we are here as New World Immigration. We're going to hold your hand. We're going to become partners.
yes,
You know, we're not essentially going to put a ring on it and create issues between you and your wife, but that's what it is, you know. And I don't believe that there's any other company out there that does it the way that we do. And I'm not saying that because I want people to do business with us. I'm saying it because I've lived through the process with many, many clients.
I'm stuck on what you said. You know, you're quite a motivational speaker.
Yeah.
Comfort kills dreams.
Yeah.
It's so true. And I've seen that. And suddenly you're older and you can't, in the cutoff time, and you can't go there. But exactly, comfort. How many people have dreams that they want to do in their life? Whether it's write a book, change jobs, do this, go on a side hustle, whatever it is. Comfort and fear. But you know what, Zach? What if they succeed? What if the person just flies? You know, what if it was the best thing ever? They will never know. And
Yep.
I want to say something I talk about, which is quite hectic. When you visit the cemetery, how many people died with their
He
dreams?
took the words out of my mouth. He took it out of my mouth. Honestly, it's
It's
that it's that
sad.
it's the difference between fear and courage.
Yes.
You could be
Yes.
comfortable living in this cage, and everything is just there. I've got my food. I've got this. I got that. I got everything.
95,
And
yes.
then you're looking at John sitting there, and you're like, "Wow, John probably got there because he was privileged, or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be."
But not
And
necessarily.
can I get there?
Yes.
Open the cage, fly.
Yeah.
It's possible.
I love that. And you know what? We're not realizing it's our thoughts, and we need to be in control of our
Yes.
thoughts. It's our thoughts saying, I can't, what if I'm not able to? What? We've got to listen to that self reflection. What are we saying to ourselves that's holding us back?
Yes.
Because the mind, and you know, we've had these discussions, your mind creates that reality for you. So listen to the negative things you're saying to yourself because you're going to create that in your life. I
Exactly.
feel absolutely passionate about what we're feeding our brains, and that's why affirmations work, and that's why positive thinking. And I know that I want to say this, okay, you into that.
Yes. And that's what I like to bring into my conversations with clients. It is, how do we get you there? Not just you're eligible, let's go. It's building those enabling conversations to get you across, which
Yes.
is absolutely key to making big steps.
Yes.
I can't want to be in a different position or earn 40% more or earn 80% more, but I still want to be minus 80%. I have to start living in that role. I have to start breathing, you know, and visioning and manifesting that I am worthy of this move.
Yes.
And a lot of people
Yes.
don't feel worthy.
Yes. I am worthy of this move. I love that. And you know what is amazing? You're not just the sales consultant holding their hand. You're motivational. You're giving them the inspiration. So I've seen your posts.
Thank you.
So you know what I'd love to do?
Yep.
I'd love to have another whole session where we just talk about mental health, the mind power, creating your life that you want. Because that's not often shared enough, and people don't believe that enough.
Yeah.
Every single thought that you create you think is creating your reality.
Yes.
So let's have another whole session on that.
We probably need about 2 hours, but definitely.
I think so too.
I
think so too.
absolutely, I'm in for that. And we don't know what people are going through when they are reaching out to us.
Exactly.
And to just turn the blind eye to that, it's detrimental. It is, because
Exactly.
it's a life-changing journey, and having a support structure that we have built,
Yes.
fortunately, touch wood,
Yes.
including
Yes.
you as
Yes.
the psychologist, mental preparation for immigration, mental preparation for interviews. I can't just think because I am a professional right now, I don't need to level up to be interviewed by an international employee. You have to level up all the
Exactly.
time. And not
Exactly.
just that, there's
Exactly.
little lives, little kids that are looking up
Yes.
to us
Yes.
as superheroes.
Role
And they are
models.
looking at this blueprint that I'm creating in terms of creating a beautiful life for them
Yes.
in a first world country. It's a
Yes.
starting point of a powerful legacy,
Yes.
which will only multiply and become a lot more meaningful for anyone that wants to go on this journey.
I can't add to that because that's a fantastic. I was going to say any last words. That's it.
There's so much more I
Last.
could say.
We need a second session if
We
we
should.
can. We need to
We
have a
should.
follow up where we're just talking about the
Yeah.
motivation, the mindset, creating your whole new future, your whole new life, doing it for the children, doing the right
Yes.
thing for
Yes.
everyone. And if you've got the potential to do this, how many others wouldn't want to? But I love what we do because it's about holding hands, building
Yes.
relationships, knowing the story, and final word.
And it's also about breaking the structure. And when I'm saying breaking the structure, it is people become super comfortable very quickly. Oh, I've got a car, I've got money. There's this happening. I'm comfortable. I mean, if life was just about that, we'd all just be, in that medium,
Yes.
just there,
Yes.
and we'll be
Yes.
thinking about, didn't have this, so I didn't have that. But we actually have as long as we can breathe and we can walk and we can read and we can learn, we each have the opportunity to take our lives to the next level.
Yes, I love that. And we just need to have the mental tenacity, the
Yes,
mental fortitude, the mental strength to go
resilience,
ahead, resilience, and
mental
make
resilience.
mental resilience to make our dreams happen. So, thank you,
Yes,
Zach.
you're welcome.
Please do follow us on the Arrival
The
Lounge.
arrival.